What's going on? It's the Raving Wolf, the Reformation Keegan. I'm here today with not a wrestling review, but a comic review. That's right. I'm a fan of comics. I'm a fan of DC Comics. I haven't ventured too much in the Marvel, but I think I want to change that relatively soon. It's hard to balance both for me with my schedule and my timing, but I've always loved DC ever since I was a little kid. I love Captain Marvel. I love Black Adam. Love Superman, who we're going to talk about right now. And speaking of Superman, I've been reading a lot of comics recently, and most of them have involved the Man of Steel himself. So I want to start by doing a mini review today of Superman Red Sun. So I initially had heard really good things about Red Sun from people in my family, from people around me, my friends, comic geeks. I looked up the reviews, and this series looked amazing. I wasn't able to acquire the original three copies that came out in 2003, but I was able to get the trade on Free Comic Book Day. So I want to give a little bit of a review for this because I was really intrigued by this elsewhere kind of story where it's like a variant of what you would see for a regular Superman story, like in Action Comics or a Superman series itself. This is a what if. What if Superman was in the Soviet Union? And it's a really interesting topic because Superman has always stood for pride and justice, the American way, and to see him go the complete opposite of the American way is super intriguing. So immediately when I read reviews and I heard that the main story was Superman was going to be fighting for communism, standing alongside Stalin and helping expand the Warsaw Pact, I said, okay, this is something I have to read because I'm also a history major. So I said, I need to read this. But the one thing that I think stands out the most at the beginning, anyway, is look at that. That's amazing. That cover. It's old school. It just looks incredible. I love the coloring of it. I love the statuesque view of Superman, and I even like the little details where they get rid of the sign of hope. It's replaced with the hammer. It looks great. So this book was really good. It's a short read, so I would recommend it. Honestly, I think Mark Miller, like it's mentioned that he takes a really big gamble with this story, but I think the gamble was really well done because you see Superman standing alongside Stalin, and Superman and Stalin, they're going to have different points of view, aren't they? Stalin's all about communism, Superman's all about truth and pride and justice, but Superman standing alongside Stalin creates a lot of rifts, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but there's a certain somebody alongside Joseph Stalin that kind of takes issue with Superman kind of being the chosen one to help stand up for the Soviet Union and take over the Soviet Union. And Superman has never really classified himself as a leader. He's never wanted to be a hero per se that people revere and look up to, kind of in a way that just singles him out as the center of attention. Instead, Superman just wants to do what's right. He wants to fight for what's right. And he does that in Superman Red Sun, except he's for communism, like I mentioned earlier. But how does that play out? It goes a few different ways. And one of the ways that it goes is that there is still a little bit of that American value and those American ideals within the Man of Steel when he is the Red Sun. So that kind of plays and creates a lot of rifts within the story. And there's rifts of envy, there's rifts of jealousy, there's rifts of tension between both nations. And Superman is in the middle. And which side will he choose? And ultimately, who will he choose? That's another big topic as well. So Superman in here still exemplifies everything that he was ever set out to be, but it's just for a different country. And the main story is that Superman arrived as an infant in the rocket from Krypton 12 hours later. So 12 hours later, instead of landing in Smallville, Kansas in the middle of a field, he lands in the Soviet Union and more specifically in the Ukraine. And then he's brought up as a Russian son. It's a great story. And again, it's not very long. And it really separates itself from a lot of other Superman stories, but also stays related in the sense of the stories about Superman's morality and Superman's pride. Where will he go? How will he accomplish what he's going to accomplish? And also, how does it relate to all the other comics that Superman's had, where he's been put in very emotionally traumatizing dilemmas, and how can he move forward? That's the story of Superman Red Sun. Let me know what you guys think. If you've read it, let me know what you think of the story. Maybe we can talk about it. If you haven't, this review wasn't meant to provide any spoilers. It was meant to give you context on what this narrative is actually about, because it bases a lot of itself off of the American and Soviet Union issues going on at this time. So please like, share, comment, subscribe, and I hope to be back relatively soon. So see you then.